Look, Pete, wait till Rhiannon on the way up. Go on, mate. Looks fast, doesn't he?
If you don't know, that was my friend and Burrito Titans legend, Peter McMullen. It was lovely to do this race with Pete. So Pete and I are in Bollington, which is just north of Macclesfield, for this Hillclimb Project, Macclesfield Wheelers Climb up Blaze Hill. 2 km at 7%, but really it's broken up into two smaller sections of very steep with a flat in the middle, which is great. I love a climb like that, very interesting. And this is just down the road from Brickworks, which I did last year. These are the people I'm starting with. I'm number 12 again, just like I was up the Cat and Fiddle, which is great. For those of you who don't know, in a previous life I was an ultimate frisbee player for many years, and 12 was always my kit number, so it's nice when I start as a number 12. For practical reasons, this doesn't start at the true bottom of this climb, which is right in the middle of Bollington. It's just a bit easier to start out of the residential area here, and it's nice. It's on the corner with a pub, so a few people are out with their pints watching us all kick off, which is cool.
Yeah, good, thank you. Give a shout, 30 seconds. Lovely, thank you. Brilliant, cheers. 2, 1, go.
And with that, off I went. So, yeah, this is a nice steep climb. I knew it would take between 6 and 7 minutes. I had the confidence of having done Macclesfield with really strong power. If you saw that video at the weekend, knowing that I could do kind of 380 watts for this time, I thought, well, I'll just set off nice and hard and we'll see what happens. Horses were out to support us on the left as we started this bit of road, which was cool. Unfortunately, I'd had a chance to recce this hill just in advance, so I knew sort of what to expect. There's basically 2 turns at the beginning, so you take this first turn to the right that I'm going to come up to, and then after a second turn to the right, it levels off. So I thought, I'm going really deep for these sections, but I'm not going to overdo the really hard recover and then really hard. I'm going to try roughly to keep the power consistent, but, you know, slightly bias the steeper sections. You've just seen that there was like 5 meters of flat maybe, and stuff like that I used to treat as recovery, and now I see as an opportunity to get free speed. You know, that's momentum building opportunity, so know that that's there. Make a conscious effort to tick the power over, so you roll into the hill with more speed straight after. And actually I think that can give a real advantage versus people who don't. It wasn't too bad of an evening. It had been raining that morning and I was concerned that it'd be a bit miserable doing a hill climb in the rain, but actually it was relatively warm. I mean, like 13 degrees or something, not raining at all, and quite a nice evening. Lovely bit of the world, of course. And here we're just climbing above Bollington. Coming to the end of the first steep bit, as you can see, it's not, you know, it's not preposterously steep. Obviously this is squarely Little Ring territory, but it's I could find quite a steady pace at this sort of gradient. Part of what's been really good about doing these for me is learning my own physiological cues for what's okay and not okay. Sometimes you hear people saying like, oh, I just kept it feeling nice at the beginning. If I am doing over 300 watts, which is below my threshold power significantly, nothing feels nice. If I am trying to hold it in like, oh, keep a comfortable power, I'll do 200 watts. It's not how my body responds to going hard, right? So what I need to do instead is go, 400 watts feels absolutely awful. It feels horrible, but you will be able to sustain it. And the only way you get to know stuff like that is with practice and frankly with killing yourself. I said this in my Macclesfield video, but the only way you get to do that is by not riding to power. It's just by absolutely sending it and learning what you think. So even by this point in the video, I felt terrible, really horrible, and I knew coming into the flat part that wasn't ideal. So my focus in the flat part is speed, not power, and I tucked down. But actually, I've done a few efforts recently that are flat and relatively fast, and I thought, well, maybe I can keep it rolling. This climb opens up a lot and it's really exposed, and I looked on the weather forecast, and actually I think we sort of maybe should have had a cross/tail. It felt like a headwind, and a few of the competitors said it felt a bit in your face, and think maybe it's just because of the way the hills and the geography is orientated. It's just a bit squally. It wasn't actually a headwind, but it certainly wasn't just like, oh, breath of the angels on my back pushing me along. It was a struggle. So I tried to get really low. You'll see in every photo taken of me, I am not low at all, but I'm trying to be a bit aerodynamic whilst also keeping the power rolling over. I enjoy that the climb does this, because you have to think about how you're going to tackle it, and it becomes a bit of a, you know, a tactical challenge as well as a physical challenge. It's not just a time trial. You have to really interact with the hill, and as you know, I really love climbs like that. And at this point, I was starting to think, my heart rate's come down a little bit, so maybe I am getting as close to recovery as you can get whilst above threshold. Here's Rhiannon cheering me on, which is always nice to see. That really helps. And this week I didn't go, I'm fucked, as I went past. I don't think I acknowledged her in any way, which I feel that like that's horrible when someone's come to support you and you just blank them, but I just needed to keep focused on what I was doing. So at the top of the first steep bit, I could just about see my Minuteman, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I'll catch. That always spurs me on. Because this middle section is so fast, I just didn't see him again, really. From my recce, I knew that this wet bit was coming, and I just thought, try and stick to the dry road where you can, mostly because I don't want my tyres getting wet, because I know at the end it's going to be steep, and I am going to want to be out of the saddle, and I don't want to contend with wet tyres. Wheel spin almost impossible to get here because it's not steep enough, but after my dad and I went and did Colid the other week, I got wheel spin loads on that ride. It's a bit in my head. And here we're just rolling to the end. This is the final kick up, the sting in the tail. One of my biggest regrets from the struggle this year is that I didn't kick hard enough on the final steep. I just got the pacing wrong. So in my head this whole time was, I need to have power to stamp out for this final bit. Just save a little bit back, which normally I wouldn't do on a hill climb. I hate the idea of saving something back, but I just wanted to go for it with everything I had all the way to the line on this steep section, and I'm glad I did it the way I did it, because I did manage to get a lot of power. I could see that I was getting closer and closer to my Minuteman as I was going, so I thought that's good. That's like a good differential speed, and I haven't done an analysis, but I suspect I was maybe looking slower compared to other people on the flatter section, and then I maybe gained a bit of time here. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not shock and awe power, is it, doing 360, 370? But I was pretty happy with it, and this is it now, out the saddle, stamping everything I've got. This is as close as you get as a sprint finish from me. You even see 500 watts there, so you know, could be worse. I'm relatively proud of that, pretty happy with it, all the way to the line. We were a bit nervous about this finish, but they put some cones out, which is really good of them. And there you go, I finish in 5th place, which is absolutely awesome. I'm chuffed with that result. Really couldn't have asked for a better finish as things go for me. 391 watts for 6.5 minutes. That's like almost 5.9 watts a kilo. I'm buzzing. That's an all-time power PB for that duration. That kind of means nothing. I hate it when people say that, but I'm chuffed. Thanks for watching, guys. Here's me chatting to some of the competitors as an outro.
I was happy with it. I went on your ones, go really hard till it levels off. I always tell myself, oh, but you'll keep the power on here. I never did. I just, no, slacked off, and then at least I had something in the tank for the end. How about you, mate? What did you?
I tried to follow similar. But straight away you get off and you're like, keep it steady, and you're like, I'm 100 watts over what I was planning to do it. Come on, mate.
Go on, not far, dig in, dig in! Go on, to the line, to the line! Great work. How'd yours go, Beamer? Were you happy with yours?
Yeah. Well, not really. Like 47
God.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. They were quite close in fairness. I didn't restart my Garmin or anything, so I had no idea what time I did. Okay. Yeah. I'm in the 60s, I'd be happy. Sub 7 would be great.